This conference will now be recorded.
Yes. So what I said, yeah, the differences between sample and the population. We have taken an example yesterday. In that example, we focused how we collect the data for a reason, for a purpose. Okay. So our objective is to find out the average Indian height. And what I done? Yeah, from the total population data, we collected independently some sample of people as how much of capacity that we have, the budget, resources, all those things. So once we collected the data, and we could see a result. But the question is this result is really matching with my true population average or not? Because true population average we are not known. So when I asked everyone is done independently their own job. So when they are independently, they are doing their own job. We are getting the different values. So the question is which value is perfect? If I change, if I keep on adding, someone suggested that average of 2 averages. But when I asked another person to add another value, my average of average is also getting changed. If I ask another person to add some more data, so my average of averages will be changed, individual average will be changed. So there is no specific number that will be stabilized. So instead of looking for the stabilized value, we are trying to put into a certain interval. To understand that interval, we are applying something called inferential statistics knowledge, and we are calculating about the true population average, true population mean. So the things which are here calculated on the sample data is what called descriptive statistics. That is what I said yesterday. Yeah, let us make it writing the things properly so that it will be benefited to you. Hope till now that that is what we discussed. Yeah. So here, let me write into Excel because the table construction will be done or not. I don't know here. Sample the population. Okay. So here you could see any technical difficulties or what in logging the things here. Yes, I could see from people will leaving the class again, joining, leaving the class again. You are facing some kind of issues.
No, nothing like that.
Yeah. Okay. I could see from the last 2 days again logging out, again joining up 2 to 3 minutes or 5 minutes like that. That's what happened. Right. No issues. If you face such kind of issues, just raise a concern to that person. Okay. Maybe it is the technical issues from your end or from their end. They should make it clear. All right. Come back. Yeah. So whatever. Where is my data set? Yes. So this is my sample data, and this is what modified population data, right? This is my sample data. So here, whatever I collect, so I given it some name. That's actually I asked to give a person's name, but actually, yeah, this is a height of the people, na? So I will call as height. This is a height of the people, so I need to give a name. So this is called, okay, a variable. A variable which is catching all the information of the people. A variable is catching all the information of the 100 people or 1000 people or 5 people, 10 people, whatever. All right. So this will be called as a statistic here statistic. The statistic is called variable. Why I am calling as statistic is a variable? Here, whenever I am changing the person, my height of the people information is getting changed. So it will be keeps on changing. Depends upon how you are collecting their data and feeding into the variable. Okay, that will be keeps on changing because the first person Shiva collected some kind of information related to height only. But when I asked Shubham, Shubham also collected the information related to the height only. But he is meeting a different people. He is meeting a different people. That means this will be keeps on changing. That means your data in the variable will be always keeps on changing. But if you collect the data of the total population, the information will be same. Imagine if we collect the data of the total population, this information won't be changed. That means first person and going meeting to all the 20,000 people, still the data will be same. Even second person also go and meet the people, the same information will be there. Third person also, when I go to and meet all the 20,000 people, the same information will be there because it is not going to be changed on the population data. The only change it can be happens on the sample data because this size, these people and these people and these people are different. But when these three people are going to meet population data, everyone will have the same values. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear what I'm talking? So whatever the calculations that you are doing on the population, it is not going to be changed. So that's why these are called parameters. Parameters are not going to change. That is constant. That means, let's come back. If I am calculating here, so what is the average value I got it? 170.00. If I ask Rakesh, can you calculate the average of this total population data set? So what happens? Rakesh also will get the same value. If I ask to calculate some other person or Shubham or Vikas, they will also get the same value because here the data is same for all the people. But when I ask individually, calculate your average Shubham, so Shubham will tell some answer. Calculate the average Vikas will give some other answer. That means what? Here the values are not constant. That is why it is called as variable. Statistic is a variable. These are called statistics. So whatever the things that you are calculating here are called statistics, which are coming out from the where? Variable. Is it clear, guys? When I need to calculate as, when I will say as variable and when I will calculate as statistics, whatever the things that you are calculating on the here are statistics, and whatever the things that you are calculating the population data is what called parameters. Let me write here, whatever you are calculating, okay, is called statistic, and whatever you calculate here called parameters. So what does it mean? My parameters won't change at any cost, but my statistics values can be changed. Agree? So what you can calculate here as a part of examples, statistics examples. So you can calculate, let's imagine in this previous example, I calculated minimum, maximum, average, right? I can calculate minimum, maximum, average. There are something called standard deviation. What is standard deviation? We are going to see in the coming classes. Range. What is range? When we call as range, maximum minus minimum value is what called range. That means the difference between maximum value minus minimum value. How much difference? How much difference is happening from the minimum to maximum value? Let's say this is 51 centimeters. That means from the difference of shortest person from the difference of tallest person, the width is 51 centimeters. That is the meaning. Clear? Yeah. So there are like that. There are many things that we can calculate here. But if I calculate the same thing here on the population data, is the values will be changed? In the population data, you will also have the similar kind of values here. Okay, but here sample data, when I change the person, your all values will be changed. Your minimum will be changed, your maximum will be changed, your average will be changed, your standard deviation will be changed, because every person will have a different data set. But here, if I change the person, every person will have the same data set. So all these values will be same on the population data. Whoever collect and whoever do all these calculations, they will get the same value. That's why those are called parameters. Clear? Yeah. And in generally, what I calculated here? Average I calculated now, the first one. Yeah. Here, if I calculate the average formula on the sample data, okay, so what it is called? Sample mean. So this sample mean will be called as actually average. Sample means average. Sample mean means average. So this will be defined as actually X bar. So X bar means what here? Like this. In Excel it is not there. In generally, if you terminology, if you go for the terminology, exact terminology, this is how you write. This is X bar. So I cannot write this X bar in the Excel, so I am writing X space bar. Is it clear, guys, everyone? Yeah. So if I calculate the same average, then I will call it as population mean. So I'm not calling them here as average. I will call as mean. So both average and mean will do the same kind of work. Sum of values by total number of values. Agree? Sum of values by total number of values. That is how you are calculating the average. But the average term will be used on the sample data. The mean term is used on the population data. Okay, and here I will call this population mean as mu. Do you remember this word? Mu? Yeah, we will call this one as mu. So you can write here as mu. I am writing like this, mu, mu. You can write, if you have pen and paper, you can write like this. All right. Yeah, there is the main difference. So sample mean, population mean. So sample means average, population means actual population data mean. So if I specify average, that means I am working on the sample data. If I specify mean, that means I am working on the population data. But most of the cases, as I say, we are going to work only in the sample data. So going forward, we will spell always as average only. If I say by mistakenly mean, does not mean that it is a population mean. It is still sample data mean only. All right, clear? There you go. Yeah. And what's the next difference? Yes, standard deviation. So here, symbolically, I will write as small s. I will tell you in detail what is standard deviation when I talk about central tendency, maybe 1 or 2 days classes later. Just make a note for it at this moment. What is standard deviation is? Yeah, I will call them here as small s. And the same thing I will call is here as standard deviation will be called as not a small s. You remember there is something called sigma. This is called sigma. So this will be called as population standard deviation. So you can write those symbol here. Standard deviation in population data is called sigma. In sample data is called as small s. All right. And here we will have always finite data. Finite data means there will be some specific number. It can be 1,000 or 10,000 or 1 lakh or 5 lakhs, whatever. But it always will have a specific number. We know it, how much the size, capacity it is. And here, infinite data. So I'm not sure exactly how much of the data bigger it is. How much of trillions of records or millions of records or billions of records, exactly not known how much bigger it is. So it is called as infinite data. Okay, and here we can calculate on data. Yeah, here always possible. Whatever the things that you want to calculate on the sample data is always possible, but here it is not always possible. It is not always possible. Why I'm saying is not always possible? Depends on the, let's imagine you are working in a company, IT company. Okay, so they want to estimate the people's information. I mean, based on your feedback, they want to improve their whatever the necessities requirement in the environment. So they have only 1,000 people. All right, guys. So to improve the necessities requirements of the people, so they are required to collect the data of those 1,000 people or 100 people only. Agree? How much, whatever the size they have. So it is easy for them to collect that 1,000 people information, because it is not required to collect the data from the outsiders or any other branches or any other cities information, because they are trying to improve the performance wise or any other things within that specific location. So in such cases, collecting the population data is easy. Is it clear, guys? In what cases population data will be collected easily? So here I am not interested on the other IT industries or the total company, I mean the other locations, branches or some other, because I am interested in within my area. I want to see some changes in the environment. So I want to get that information from the existing employees who are working in this location. So if I am not interested on the who are sitting somewhere in the other locations or other countries, because those information, those people feedback is not important. Let's imagine I want to change the inside the colors on the walls, all the painting I want to change. So I want to see nice colors. So which colors to be preferred? I want to take this information from the people. So light colors will be attracted or dark colors will be attracted. Let's imagine. So this will be interested based on the interior of the people who are working there, right? So not on the somewhere who is sitting outside location. So why should I prefer at that moment? So in such cases, population data is possible. Population data is possible. So that's what very rare cases that you will have this population data, total data in your hands, because depends upon what case that you are dealing at that moment. So you should realize that is it possible to collect the total population data, or we need to work only on the sample data, that we should decide. So when you are working in the real world with the IT industries jobs, so most of the cases you are going to work on the sample data. Is it clear, guys? What is the difference between when I will call as sample data, when I will call as population data? Yes. So it is not always possible, but what we can do? Yeah, we can estimate. Can be estimated using sample data. That is what we are doing. Can be estimated. That is what in our hands. So whatever the mathematical calculations, whatever calculations are called the total, like minimum, maximum, average, standard deviation, range, whatever the things that you are calculating that you are doing here is called as descriptive statistics. Descriptive statistics. Okay, and taking instructions from descriptive statistics and apply some additional theory which provides us what? Which provides us inferential statistics. So how we are going to calculate those will be discussed later. Okay, how our inferential statistics is getting calculated, we are going to see in the coming classes. So up to here, everything is clear. Whatever the mathematical calculations that are called as descriptive statistics here, and whatever applying, I will say whatever the information that I received from the descriptive statistics and applying some additional theory, from there I am going to calculate inferential statistics. Is it everyone is clear, guys? When I'll call as descriptive statistics, when I will call as inferential statistics, this is most important from the beginning of the process.
What is this inferential statistics?
So inferential statistics, who is it?
Because
so inferential statistics is like some extra layer that you are adding up. Let's imagine I am adding a theory. There is something called test of hypothesis. There is an additional theory that you have test of hypothesis, or else there is something called probability. So these concepts I'm going to apply on the sample data. Okay, so when I calculated some sample data, when I have some sample data, when I apply this additional theory there, I'm going to get a calculations based on those theory. So those values I will call as what? Inferential statistics. If you observe in the yesterday's class, so what I said, I given some certain interval here. I given some certain interval, but how this interval is calculated? How this interval is calculated? That means I added some additional theory. I applied some formula. So what is that formula? We have not discussed, but something I have provided in the Excel sheet, and that Excel sheet is directly calculated to me. Agree? So those calculations is giving me some result. So I believe that whatever the Excel, or if I do going forward in the Python, those are already learned those inferential statistics at the back end, and it is giving me the calculation direct value. So I am going to explain to the client saying that, yeah, I'm not talking about the sample data, I'm talking about the total population data interval will be like this. So how it is calculated? Those layer is what called some additional theory. When I applied some additional theory, I'm able to calculate this inferential statistics values. Is it clear, because now?
Sir,
yes.
But then again, the value, it's true here. So the value which you got, the interval which you got from the population, it's only been taken from the sample size, right? You have done the calculation from the sample data.
Yes, correct.
So then on what basis it will be an interval or inferential statistics? It should be on descriptive statistics, right? The interval what you got.
No, the interval is calculated from, see, the inputs I have taken from the sample data. Okay, the inputs I have taken from the sample data, but I have taken a formula backside. Those formula will help me to identify the inferential statistic values, that is population data values. What is that formula? I have not discussed it. Is it clear? What is that formula? I have not discussed it, but I am telling is what? the input. That means the input is what here I have taken the first person's data input. This is my input, what I received. If I calculate the minimum, average, and these all things, like this is what called actually descriptive statistics. If I calculate the average, minimum, maximum, range, and all those things, now here these are related to descriptive statistics. But from these inputs, from this data, I am applying some additional problem and additional theory. Like I said, what some test of hypothesis also there. Some confidence interval concept is there. Okay, so these two three things depends upon the topic to topic. Again, now it is not about test of hypothesis. There will be in some other area this test of hypothesis will be discussed. Okay, but I'm just telling you what concepts will come under. So once I calculated behind these formulas, I'm going to generate this interval kind of thing. As I shown you, some interval will be calculated. So this is what inferential statistics values. So how did I calculate it here? That is what we are going to learn in the coming classes. How did I calculate it here? That is what I am going to discuss in the coming classes. Is it clear now, everyone?
That inferential statistic value, like this test of hypothesis and this confidence interval, right? In
Yes,
that formula,
yes.
you are using the intermediate output of each sample, or you are directly applying that formula over the entire population?
No, only on the sample data I'm calculating these things. Not on the my estimation is on the population data, because I don't have the population data is in my hands, but I am estimating on the population data. I'm estimating on the population data. I'm not having the population data. So if you see here, yesterday this is 170.004 is the population data values. To be frank, actually we don't have the data itself.
Yes,
I am not
so
sure. Listen. Okay. First, this is the information I don't have itself. So that means what? I'm not having the population data even in my hands. So that means when I don't have the population data, even I don't have the average value also. Population average value also I'm not known. That means mean value also I'm not known. But what is my intention? I need to calculate this population average, which I don't have the exactly population data is not the population average, but my intention is there. So what I done, I taken this sample data which is given by the first person. So from there I calculated 167.2 to 172, 167.60 to 172.9. That is what I estimate. So here I don't have the information, but I am confidently able to say that my true population average is definitely going to lie under this interval anywhere. My true population average is definitely going to underlie this interval anywhere, but I'm not sure. That's what I mentioned. True average Indian height is lying under this interval. So I am not sure, is it 168 or 170 or 171? I'm also not sure, but I am estimating it. To make you understand my interval estimation is right or wrong, so here I calculated the population data and I'm making you sure. Why I calculated here? To make you understand how this confidence interval is 100% it is getting calculated. In the real time it will be not there, but your estimation will be the final.
So if you summarize it right like this, so always the inferential statistic gives the output over the entire population, whereas the descriptive statistic gives the output over a sample, right?
Yes, correct. Any more questions, guys?
Sir, one more question.
Yes, tell me.
Sir, in last class we talked something about dependent and independent variable, right?
Not last class, last before class. Yeah.
Yes. So have we discussed more brief about that, sir? About dependent.
No, you missed it. You missed it or what? Any 1 or 2 classes you missed it?
Pardon, sir?
Did you miss any classes? I'm asking you. Attending the misses, or you missed any classes? Attending it?
I did not miss. I attended the class.
So I not discussed anything. I have not discussed. I just told the steps of procedure. Okay. Yeah, when I will call it as independent variables, when I will call as dependent variables, I have not yet talked anything. I just told that, yeah, I need to realize, I need to find out those columns from the data. But we are not yet discussed. Those discussions will be, again, I'm going to make recall after 10 days, not now. After 10 days, then I'll come to the point. Before that, I'm making you sure that you should have strong basic skills at the beginning itself. So that's why I'm taking a good amount of time to make you understand it to this point. Once I come to that point, again, I'm not going to talk about the basics, because at that moment you will be strongly confident on the basics what you learn. So no need to talk about again from the beginning. At that time you will get realized what are these terminologies, like a mean, average, and all those things. Those terminology you will get to know. So there is no point of discussion again from the basics. You will get to identify, you will get realized when I discuss. Is it clear, guys? Dhruv, is this clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So no, I am not yet discussed anything. Okay, I'm not discussing. I just told that what steps to be there in a project life cycle. At that time I told, that's it. I'm not yet touched anything. Okay. So come back. So hope now everyone is clear. Yes. Whatever the things I am calculating on the sample data, that's what here I'm mentioning. What are these differences now? Okay, that's why I mentioned here, the point I mentioned here. Whatever the mathematical calculations are doing, I'm calling them as descriptive statistics and taking these inputs. Okay, and I'm applying some additional theory which provides me an inferential statistics. Hope everyone is clear. Okay, let me try. Can I copy paste this one here also?
Sir, this theory kind of notes, right? Can you put it in text page instead of
Yes.
Excel?
Yes. Will do. That's what I'm trying to do here. That's what I'm trying to do, to put up those things in the notes so that everyone will have the advantage instead of showing in the Excel. Here, this kind of table construction, I don't know is it possible on these notes or not. So I made it in Excel first. Then I will copy paste here. Yeah, now this is fine. So that you can read directly. Now here, this looks better. Okay. So whenever you recall it, you can see those differences. All right. So these are like grammatical mistakes, typing mistakes. It is highlighting it. All right. So everyone is clear about these differences of sample and population. Yeah. Okay. Now let's go. Now coming to the picture now again. So here the problem definition is what? Actually collecting the height of the people, right? Calculating the true average Indian height. So to calculating the true average Indian height, we are collecting the height of the people. So when the problem definition is changed, you are not going to collect the height of the people. According to the problem definition, you will collect some other information. Let's imagine in a Bangalore city, I want to find out how many people having the corona positive cases. All right. So what I need to do? I need to make some test on every person who I meet, and I will look out the person who is having a positive or negative, positive or negative, positive case. So what does it mean? The data will be changed like this. Let's imagine first person, second person, third person, fourth person. That means, yeah, I'm testing on it. I'm testing on you. So are you related to positive or do you have a negative? Having a positive, do you have negative? So this is the information that I have. So here, when my framing my problem definition is changed, my collection of the data is also getting changed in another way. I'm not talking about, I'm not interested your height now. I'm interested in fact your age. Right now, to calculate this corona positive cases, I'm interested to calculate, yeah, your ages, your locations, whom you met, whom you not met, any from which country that you came, or you are from the same community, what activities that you have done from past 10 days. That is what the minimum information they will try to look out. So depends upon the case to cases, your variable, your information is getting changed, your variables will be get changed. So here height is not priority, height is not priority, weight is not priority, maybe age, maybe gender, maybe as I say some other any activities what you've done from the last 10 days. So these are the minimum information. So according to the variable question, like as I said, this is corona, there or not, gender, there are, I mean male or female or not, what is your age, because if the age is around 65-70, chances are very high that you will be affected very badly. That is what we know, basic common sense, right? So depends upon, yeah, the variables is getting changed according to my requirement, my variables are getting changed. But the question is, how many kinds of variables will you have? How many kinds of variables will have? So here in the previous case, I collected height variable. So height is collected that data in what way? That means data is in how many types? Data is in how many types? Let's like this. Let's make as data. So data will be in 2 types. So most of the people, computer science people, has derived the understanding of the data in different ways, like nominal or some other ratios, but all are comes under here only. Which I am talking here will be on the basis of the textbook knowledge, which is basis on the textbook knowledge. Okay, so this will be continuous data. One data is what? Continuous data. Another one is what? Discrete data. So discrete data is also called as categorical data. All right, data is 2 types. One is continuous data, another one is discrete data. So what are continuous data? So whichever, anything, let me type like this, anything when I'm collecting, which is following some units. Anything when I'm collecting which is following some units, that means it is calculating with a measurement which is following a measurement. So examples, height of the data. So how we are collecting the height here? In what measure, I mean in what units that you are collecting the data here? Centimeters, not here?
Centimeters.
Yeah. Yes. So height I am collecting in centimeters. You can also collect the height in feet, inches, meters. That depends upon the instrument that what you are taking. That depends upon the instrument what you are taking in your hands. All right. So I'm not saying that you need to collect in the centimeters. So it's your choice how you are collecting it. But definitely, however you collect, it is, you need to specify that 165 centimeters or 5.10 inches. If you don't say centimeters or inches, okay, there is no meaning for the number what you told. There is no meaning for the number what you told. Until unless if you don't specify, it won't be any meaning. If you specify, there will be some meaning. So height of the data. All right. Yeah, like 165 centimeters, or I will say 5.11 inches. Yes. Next one, weight of the data. So here again, here in what ways we can specify? Let's say 75 kgs. So what is your weight? If I ask you, either you should tell either in grams or kgs. So it's we can't say in grams, because when you have the quantity contains very heavy, now you can specify either grams, kgs or tons. Able to understand, guys? Grams, kgs or tons, that's how you will specify. So when I am collecting the human's weight, I will specify kgs. If I am collecting the if I am collecting the some medicine powder of a tablet, so what you will specify? 5 mg, 3 mg. What doctor will tell always? Daily 5 mg of 3 tablets that you need to take for 3 days. That's what they will suggest. It means based on the specific thing that you are taking, you will specify those in grams or milligrams or kgs or tons or whatever. So here I'm talking about weight of a person. So always you will say 75 kgs, or you will say some 120 pounds, 130 pounds. And that is also possible, right? Let me write like this: 120 pounds. So depends upon on which thing that you are applying, you are calculating these things, the kgs or grams will be changed. Tell me some other examples, guys. Height, weight, age of a person. Age of a person, in generally, if I am taking in a employment office, I mean to say company, so minimum age will be what? 21, 22 years, and maximum age is around 60, 65 years. If I am taking up a age in a school, so what will be the minimum age? Minimum age will be 3 years, and the maximum age will be 15 years. If I take the age in a hospital of a baby boys or baby girls, so what could be the ages there now? A newborn baby I'm talking about. So let's say 2.5 kgs, 2.6 kgs, 3 kgs, and between this ratio depends. That's what depends upon the where you are collecting and what you are collecting. Sorry, I'm talking about 2.5. It's about talking about ages, but sorry, days. And I need to talk of age now. I need to talk about the age. So when I'm talking about the age of the baby boys, so 3 days baby, 5 days baby, 1 day baby, 6 months baby, 5 months baby. That's how you will tell. That's what their age. Clear? Any more, guys? Any suggestions? Any examples from you? What other things can be as continuous? Your petrol price. Daily you are pouring in your bikes or not? What is the petrol price today? 80 or 90? 80 rupees per liter. Right? So what will be the petrol price in the last 1 month? So what happens? Yeah, May 1st it was 75, May 2nd it is 78, May 3rd it is 82, May 4th again 79. So 30 days will have the different values or not, with the decimals also. Sometimes we will have change also, no? 74.5. Clear, guys? Petrol price. Any more examples? Nobody is talking. Come out with examples. I have 12 people here. No idea. How much distance that you are traveling daily to your office? Don't say, sir, I am work from home now. So 0 kilometers. How many kilometers that you travel daily? 3 kilometers, 5 kilometers. From last 30 days, how many kilometers that you travel daily? Last 30 days, how many minutes that you are chatting with your friend? Tell me. Yes, 7 kilometers, someone said.
My God.
Yeah, you are traveling 7 kilometers sometimes. Sometimes you may do some shopping, so it becomes 9 kilometers. Sometimes you go for a movie, so on that specific day 10 kilometers. When it is Sunday, total shopping, so 15 kilometers. We will have some more activities. Of course, now we are in the corona, it is become 0, 1. I agree, but in generally, right? So depends upon day-to-day activities you will keep on do. So kilometers, na? How much of distance that you are traveling? Kilometers. That is also comes under what? Continuous data. Someone said some example. I not remember. Someone who said, who is that?
Width.
Sorry, width.
Width. Yeah.
Yeah, width. Yes, width of the what we can take width of the
We can take
benches.
width of like when we discuss about predicting the price of a apartment. What is the width
Yes,
dimension?
yes. If I am taking purchasing an apartment flats, so how much square feet of the rooms, right? 1,000 square feet, 1,200 square feet. Agree? 1,300 square feet. So again, you are specifying the square feet. How much of the width of the location, areas, acres.
So any data we can take, right? Garbage wastage, sewage wastage, everything is just a measurement it should have. We will take anything,
Yes,
it will be a data.
yes. Measurement it should have. It should specify, it should follow some units to express. Then only we can realize. So chances of that you may collect, sometimes we have data with what do you say, the flow, full stops, decimals you will have. If I ask you perfectly, if I try to calculate your weight, so you will have 75 kgs exactly? No, 75 point some 330, 300 grams or like that you'll have. If you are saying that I am walking, I am doing a daily exercise 1 hour, are you doing exactly 1 hour daily? Sometimes you may day you will do 65 minutes, sometimes you will do 60 minutes, sometimes you will do 63 minutes, sometimes you do 58 minutes. So always you are specifying again minutes, hours or minutes or seconds or whatever, however you express. So always it is following some units. This all comes under what? Continuous data. All right, come back. What is discrete? Hope this is clear now. Everyone is clear. So what is discrete? Again, discrete have two types. So here, countable data, and another one is classification data. So when we will call as countable data, whenever the data is exactly countable. Whenever the data is exactly countable. Let's take an example. So if I ask you how many classes that you have attended till now, if I ask you how many classes, that means number of classes that you attended. So you will say 5 or 4, 3, 6, like that. You will say a number. Can you say 4.5 classes? It's not a meaningful word. Either you attended it or not. So 5 or 4 or 3. Another example. Okay, number of times you watched a movie. Number of times watched a movie. So you will say, can you say now, anyway I have seen the movie only 30 minutes, so I will call it as one time 30 minutes. You will say that either 2 times or 3 times I watched the movie. That's it. But you never say 2.5 times I watched a movie. So always a a integer number kind of thing, a rounded value, number of benches, that is, or chairs. Yes, number of chairs in office. So you will have some 100 chairs or 150 chairs, but you never say we have 150.5 chairs. We can't say 150.135.5 chairs, but here it is possible, right? In the continuous data it is possible. I can say petrol price is around today 85.35 paisa, but I cannot say number of chairs is 75.3 chairs we have. Able to understand the differences when I will call as countable data, when I will call as continuous data? So depends on the data what we have, we are going to follow up our analysis like that. So first of all, understanding the data is more and more important. What pattern it is following, what kind of the variation is happening from the each values, how the data has been collected. Why I am trying to understand, because according to the nature of the data what we collected, you are going to approach the next level of analysis. You are going to approach the next level of analysis according to the nature of the data, how it is collected. So that's why understanding the data is more important at the beginning of the project itself. Okay, so number of chairs. Any example? Number of buildings, number of vehicles that you have, number of watches that you have, number of dresses, number of shoes, anything, na? These are all the examples of countable data. And what is classification? Anything which is classified. Example, gender. So how gender is classified? Gender will be classified as male or female. Right here. Gender will be classed as male or female. Clear? Any more? Region. Yeah, where you belongs to, north, east, or west, or south. Yes, Rakesh, something you're trying to say. Location. Now we people are 10, 11 people we are attending, 14 people are attending classes. Is that everyone is from the same location? If I'm talking about the state or city wise, all are from the Bangalore. If I'm talking about each different location, so you will have your own areas individually. I don't know the exact all the routes and streets names, but you know it, location of the person. So someone is in the near the office with some location, somewhere in the some other Bangalore area. Able to understand? Yes, location. Yeah, any more examples, guys? So there is no
rating.
Sorry?
Rating.
Yes, rating of the movie. So how do you like that movie? Excellent, average, or worst? Excellent. Or
can a Boolean value can be a classified data?
One second. What is it? Movie rating? Yeah, movie. I'll come to the point. Movie. Excellent, average, poor. Yes, something you are asking. Tell me.
I was saying, sir, can a Boolean value be a what do you say, the classified data? Like
Yes,
true,
Boolean into say yes or no cases, right?
no, true, false.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Let's say, have you passed the exam or not? You will say either yes or no, or else true or false. If I ask you, yeah, are you male? So definitely you will say either true or false. Depends upon the gender, the people will give the response. Like say, if I have, yeah, so if I mean, did you got the job? Yes or no? Did you pass the exam? Yes or no? Did you have diabetes? Are you diabetic? True, false. So my data, basically, here I'm looking as a true, false. But originally, I may get this data in terms of in numerical presentation also, like 1 or 0. So it does not mean that it is a numerical word. You need to categorize this one as a classification data only. You need to understand this is a classification data only, and you need to act accordingly. Don't consider, yeah, it looks like na countable data, continuous data, and we need to carry forward. No, it is strictly like this only. So excellent, average, poor. Sometimes it will be like this. Excellent means, let's say, 3 rating. Average means 2 rating. Poor means 1 rating. That is also possible. Ranking, na? Ranking can be reverse or ranking may be in the same direction. So you need to understand and you need to work out. North, east, west, south. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Male, female, 1, 2. Like that. So this all comes under classification. So whichever the data you take, any data you take, you need to realize that my data is coming under what data type. According to the data type, you are going to convert your you are going to take the steps of the necessary analysis. So there is something called text data. Text data. At present, I am not talking about the text data. Apart from this, because currently I am concentrating on the structural data analysis. How to work on the unstructured data analysis, that we are going to cover in the NLP deep learning concepts. So at this moment, I'm not talking how my text data, because text data can be converted, okay, in classification databases or countable databases. That's depends upon the requirement of the specific case study. I will convert my old complete text data into either countable data or classification data. Those discussions we will do in the coming classes. So that's what I'm telling. However, the data you give to me, definitely finally I will convert and I will make understand that what pattern actually it is following. If I'm able to understand what pattern it is following exactly, my analysis, my steps is going to makes very easy. Is it clear, guys? There will be, in machine learning, there will be some assumptions will be there. According to the assumptions, you need to carry forward your analysis. Okay, so my target variable, my independent variable, we should have some assumptions. So what are those assumptions? I'm not talking at the moment. Further cases, understanding the data is more important. Understanding the data means what pattern it is following is more important. If I understand this pattern, now I will work on the assumptions. If those assumptions are correct, then my analysis on the machine learning is going to be correct. Is it clear, guys? Yeah, let me open an example. Not here. Yes, there is a data set here. So, yeah, first one, ID. In generally, this ID is not going to be used anywhere. In generally, it is not going to work for any analysis. Okay, but it will be helpful when your two data sets gets merged. When your two data sets gets merged, in those cases, it will be helpful. So let's not worry about what is merged at this moment. How to, combining the two different data sets into one place is what called merged. So in what situations does merge will be used, I'm not discussing. I will tell about it when I'm talking about the data cleaning section. At the time, I'll make you understand. Okay, so let's ignore the ID variable. Let's try to understand. Gender, tell me what kind of variable it is? Continuous or classification, right? Age.
Continuous or countable data.
Continuous. Age is continuous one. Continuous. Yes. Because I'm saying that 49 means he is following 49 years. All right. experience.
Same continues.
So if I open it like this, I could see some negative values here. -2, -1, 0 is 0 experience, okay, matters, but -1, -2, that means something is wrong in the data. But understanding the data is correct only, but something in the wrong is data. So you need to make it correct. So those techniques we'll learn in the data cleaning section. This -2 and -1 is not a valid number for the experience. If I take age also, na, here I don't have. Let's imagine if age contains -23 years, will you agree with that? You're not going to agree, na? Because -23 doesn't make any sense. That means something is wrong in the data like that. So you need to find out. You need to find out such a wrong inputs also. That's why we'll cover the data input data cleaning section. Let's come back here. So income. So the person income is mentioned like without specifying units. Actually, which is not mentioned. It is $80 or 8,000 rupees or 80,000, or it is not clearly mentioned. So if you don't have the proper information about what units it is exactly following, that thing you need to collect from the client. You need to make sure that what could be the units it is exactly following, or you need to collect the information from the big data team. Maybe I guess even those people also will not aware on this knowledge, but you need to make it understand what could be that income is mentioning is dollars or rupees or pounds or whatever, however they are talking. Okay. And family, yes, how many people in your family? Tell me what could be the data it is.
Countable data.
Countable data, yes. How many people in your family? So 2 people, 3 people, 4 people are single, because this is actually a banking related data information. Okay. Education, so it is mentioned as 1, 2, 3. So it is like the level of education, like yeah, you are a basic level of education, intermediate or higher level of education. So you
This is classified data.
Yes, classified data, but I am not sure exactly what actually 3 means. 3 is a higher level of education or 1 is a higher level of education. So if you get that such kind of information, this information also you should make it clear what exactly 1, 2, 3 stands for. In generally, they will provide in a separate document about what variable is what information. But until unless if something is missed at the beginning itself, you need to make sure what could be the variable actually it is following. 99% cases they will provide. If it is missed, then you need to talk back and you need to make it clear. You need to make it clear. Clear? So classification data and loan sanction. Tell me now, yes or no cases?
This is also classified.
Classification data. Yes. So it is looks like 0, 1. Even education also looks like 1, 2, 3. But it doesn't mean that it is following a numerical term. It is still under classification only. So like now, you cannot calculate the average and all those things on classification kind of data. You need to follow it in another way. You cannot say on an average, yeah, like say, yeah, average is 0.10%. What is the average here? Look at the right side on my Excel sheet. Average is 0.103. That means out of 1,000 people, 10% is the, what do you say, loan people sanction, home loan sanction. So it is not the proper word. It is not the proper word of taking the average here. You can tell like the number of people, how many people got sanctioned. There will be some meaningful, but you cannot say the average on this case. So it depends. That's what depends upon the variable how it is received to you. You need to act it accordingly. Clear, guys? Yeah. Yeah. So this is for. I want to make you understand what are the data types. Tomorrow we'll continue with this topic again. Yeah. After understanding the variable data types, what I need to do? What I need to do after understanding the variable data types? What I need to do? That is what we are going to learn in the tomorrow's class. All right. So let's stop for today. Any questions from anyone, guys, before I stop? Let me check the chat box once. Chat box is clear. People saying no. So hope there is no questions from anyone. All right, let's meet up tomorrow again. Okay, I will share this things to your this one. Okay, yeah, I'm logging out.